This isn't one of my usual videos with the edits and the funniness and stuff, but I wanted to try this out. I saw my friend do it. It was pretty cool. He showed like all of his old stubs from all the shows he went to, and I dug up some of my stubs, and I was bugging out about all the places I went to, that especially Broadway, big Broadway nut. But here's some of the stubs that I got. These are the ones that are out on Long Island. You'll see that I'm a big rent head. I was a big, huge rent head. By the way, if anyone's on Long Island and you ever want to go to see a show as close to Broadway but not have to go to Manhattan, the John Engelman Theater. It's a beautiful, beautiful theater. It's just like a few hundred people. I mean, it's not exactly Broadway, but it is absolutely beautiful. But look already, 3 rent tickets. And they play some really good shows, as you can see. Wait Until Dark was really good. And then here are the ones that are off or on Broadway. Mamma Mia. Looped. That was a good show. Looped was a very good show. May she rest in peace. All these, you know what? I never really saw a bad show. There wasn't a bad show that I went to see. But actually, you know what? I wasn't a fan of South Pacific. It's funny that we just mentioned that right there. Rocky was fantastic. If you ever get a chance to see Rocky, go see it. West Side Story. I love that show. I actually saw it more than twice, but I only found 2 tickets. White Christmas is also a fantastic show. If you have a family, you want to go see a beautiful show, they do White Christmas very well. I'm a very big fan of the classic one, the old movie, so I had to go see it. That and Holiday Inn was fantastic. You're gonna Wicked. You know what? I saw Wicked like 3 times and I only found 1 set of tickets. I gotta go. It's hard for me to dig this stuff out because you put stuff places and you just don't realize, like, they get misplaced and it stinks. But by the way, just for a really good show, Blue Man Group and Stomp. Stomp is excellent. I love Blue Man Group. RFK, one-man show. I thought it was phenomenal. I thought the man did a fantastic job. I really believe that I was talking with RFK. It was an off-Broadway show. It was just him, but it was great. There it is, Blue Man Group. Of course, there's more rent tickets. I was fortunate and old enough to see the original cast. As soon as I saw the very first show, I was instantly hooked. I was hooked. I think I've seen Rent like, I don't know, on and off Broadway at least a dozen times. And then what I'm really upset about is that I went to a decent amount of concerts and I only found 2 of those tickets. I hope I have them somewhere because I would love to put that up. But I was a big Alanis Morissette fan. I saw her in Nassau Coliseum, but my prized possession, which I did find, was that I got to see Alanis Morissette and Tori Amos tour together. And I don't even know why I did this with the back. This is actually a backstage pass. September 11th, what was the year? 1999. But now I can't take it off because it'll rip the ticket. What a shame. But I got to go backstage and I met Alanis Morissette and Tori Amos. That was actually a really cool thing. It was the only time I ever got hooked up with a ticket like that I was able to go backstage. And you know what? I don't know if you're into her music, but I think they're both phenomenal. Especially lately, I've been on a Alanis Morissette kick. I think she's got an amazing voice. Her songs, I just love her songs. I listen to them constantly. But yeah, that was my backstage pass. But the shame of it is that I definitely went to a lot more concerts. I went to U2, Zoo TV, Giant Stadium. I went to see Elton John, Billy Joel. I saw Crosby, Stills and Nash twice out in Long Island, Jones Beach. They were phenomenal. I saw so many music shows and I can't find those tickets. I'm really pissed. But part 2 is going to be the sports tickets. I went to too many hockey games, but I'll bring that up in a second. As I was trying to dig out for tickets, some of the subs I could not find, which is a shame. But I did find an old album of some of the playbills I saved. As you can see, I'm still a huge rent head. I don't know which ones these are, though. The on Broadway, the off Broadway, but I loved it a lot. Oh, there's one of my tickets right there. White Christmas I told you about. This This was actually really good. All the Way, Bryan Cranston. I actually, Bill Clinton actually went to the show, and I got pictures of him at the show where I was. He was only a couple rows away from me. West Side Story, one of my top favorites next to Rent. Looped, I told you about. This was good. Promises, Promises. This is a remake of a movie with an old movie with Jack Lemmon. This was really good. It was very, very funny. Lend Me a Tenor, also really good. I wasn't a fan that much. I heard about this show and they said it was just like Rent, but it wasn't. I mean, to each his own. I mean, some of you may think it was really good. It was okay to me. It wasn't great. Chicago. South Pacific, I told you about this. I wasn't a fan of the show. A Life in a Theater. This was actually pretty sick. They were just talking about each other on stage. It wasn't really, it was like a show, but it wasn't. The Best Man. Good show. Very good show. Excellent. If it ever comes back and you guys get a chance to see it, go see it. It was worth it. And of course, Jersey Boys. I don't know what happened to tickets to those. This was a phenomenal show. Phenomenal show. And that's all I got. On to the sports. Now this is all the, well, I shouldn't say sports. I mean, I've been to a lot of games. All the sports. I've been to Jet games, Giant games, Yankee games. For the life of me, I don't know why I didn't save those stubs. I can't find them. If I did, I can't find them. But these are all the hockey games I've been to. I mean, if you get a clearer picture, I can bring it out. Most of them in the late 90s, early 2000s. As I got older, I kind of slipped off a little bit, though. But, you know, they got more and more expensive. And to put it in perspective, I mean, look at the price of this ticket. This was a phenomenal game. And this is more than quadruple the price. I mean, you could see, like, they start to creep up. Like, after a while, they get a little more expensive. But, I mean, it's not like back then. I mean, even a Broadway show is like a few $100s just for a ticket. But actually, one of my favorite sets of tickets is this right here. I actually got to go to the World Cup in the Garden. That was awesome. I love when I got to see the stars playing from other countries. I mean, at the time, Slovakia, I think that the star at that time was Peter Bondra. I love that player. 50-goal scorer. He was so silky smooth when he skated. But you could tell which ones were season tickets and which ones that I had actually paid for. But even then, there's still a lot for the time. Opening night, that was a good game. That was a very good game. And not to be biased, obviously I'm an Islander fan, but I hate to say it. I really hate to say it because it kills me, but I've went to very few Ranger games. You can see one here and here. And of all the hockey games I went to, and I must have went to at least over 50, those were the two most exciting nights of my life. There is just something about Madison Square Garden that's electrifying. It's literally electrifying. I mean, I don't know if you've been to the Coliseum, but, by the time it got to the mid-2000s, the thing has fallen apart. But now, obviously, that they're moving or they're in a new place. But, but I was fortunate, old enough to actually go to the games when they were winning cups. That's how I got hooked. The first game I ever went to in my life was, I got to see my idol. Well, at least he was back then, Brian Trottier. And when you went to the Coliseum, it was powerful, but I got front row seats, and there was actually a glass that's halfway down that you got to stand on the boards and look over. And I was a little kid, so I was able to do it. But seeing those guys play at the time, man, the Dynasty, they were phenomenal. But these are probably the best tickets I got. They made them so cool. But you could tell, like I said, you could tell the ones I purchased and which ones I actually, had season tickets. But yeah, things gotten too expensive now, especially Broadway shows, and I miss shows, but I can't afford to do it anymore. I mean, going with two people to see a Broadway show now, unless it's great, you're talking about a $500 night. Dinner, tickets. That's if you're lucky and you get good seats. I mean, I don't even know. Like the last show I wanted to see was Hamilton, and they costed a fortune. And now you could just watch it on HBO. I think that they actually put the show on, on one of the cable channels. But that's my whole ticket collection. This video's long, but it's not as good as the Fairy Godfathers. He's got some extensive set of tickets, and they're very memorable. But it was really cool to see it. But hopefully you think that's cool. Nah, it don't matter. I think it's cool. And let me know what you think.